The old saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," is the best way to describe the year 2020. Regardless of what occurred, it's never what happens, but how one deals with what happens, with all the old mantras applying when we review the year. We all experience the joys, sufferings, and pains of life. We experience them in different ways, but we are given a lifetime to learn how to handle them. The time it takes to learn life's lessons is different for each of us, but the quicker we learn those lessons, the sooner we are able to help others better survive life. It is much more painful to see a young person die. We feel sorry that they will miss many of life's lessons. The joy of love, marriage, vacation with the families, work, experiences and accomplishments, children and grandchildren are part of that life. Most of us fear death because we do not want to miss those experiences for ourselves or for those we love. We learn about those experiences from those we know and love, and not from the news. Most happenings in the world would go unnoticed if we were not told about them by someone we don't know. The media needs eyeballs watching all the tragedies and dysfunctionalities. They constantly remind us about the things that are going wrong and how things are going to get worse. The only rule they follow is, if it bleeds, it leads. The tragic part is most of the news is useless information about which we can do nothing. The sad part is the effect it has on our emotional state, causing us to do things that are contrary to how we were taught. The education today is causing the younger generation to react in irrational ways. The result is young voters and future leaders are dealing with things like man-made climate change hoax or how the pandemic is being handled in a different way, as evidenced by the things they support, do, and how they vote. The silver lining from this informational infection is the saying, "Nothing can be hidden from eventual truth and knowledge." 2020 was a year with all the untested platitudes and informational discrepancies finally being tested, compared to the being tolerant when these differences were thought to be with no real distinction before. With 2 + 2 = 5 being propagandized for a generation, now the fact they can't balance their checkbook is now coming home to roost. Trillions are being spent on things with no noticeable effect. The pandemic will take its course. The climate change will continue its normal cycles, and socialism, with all their attempts at achieving equality, has never worked. That is the cost society paid, with the only noticeable thing that's different being a huge national death with nothing to show for it. Thank God this year is over, but it's up to us to prevent a repeat of 2020. This is Keith Kuby wishing you the best in making the world a better place.